Guys, as you can see, this side next to the peas is still up. I'm going to go through that lot in a minute and take out any of the big ones, any of the big beans. But just from that one strip that was there, or two strips basically, because there was two sets of poles like that, you can roughly see where they've been. There's a wet line there, there. Yeah, there somewhere. Yeah, just there somewhere. That where it's been able to get wet, but you can see there's two distinct lines. One right against the cabbages there, and one just against the damp line. And we've got one of these bread trays, supermarket shopping tray things, full. It's not overflowing as such, but yeah, there's the canes. We're going to store them in the polytunnel this winter, so we can reuse them again next year. This side, there's still absolutely tons of flowers, so I'm going to leave this side. I'm going to go through them in a minute and pick out any of the bigger ones. The ones that are just getting towards that side, about, before they go over. We have got, in fact, somewhere in here, there's a outdoor cucumber plant growing up. It's about nearly 8 foot tall, and I don't know if there's any cucumbers on it or not. But finally, we're starting to find some green blue lake beans coming through. We've had not too bad off them, to be honest. There's only maybe 3 or 4 plants mixed in, and I think we've got about, I don't know, 4 or 5 pounds, maybe something like that. Maybe not even that, to be honest. So just from the that couple of plants that were in there, they've not done too bad actually. I find the best ones out of them as well. There's one there, a couple up here. I've got some more there. Look, loads coming on there. So we'll get them picked. There's some more around the other side as well. So, but we are going to do what's the name of them? Called cobras, climbing beans, next year, and we're going to have just maybe a wigwam full of those. That'll be plenty for us, to be honest, absolutely plenty. But like I say, runner beans can't do any better. I mean, we must have had at least, that's got to be over £100 worth in weight of the Enorma celebration beans, at least, with everything else as well, the moonlight and everything. It's got to be at least over £100 in weight of runners this year. And like I say, there's still some coming. Still flowers. The bees have been all over it today before the rain come. I mean, and let's pull out handfuls really. That's I'm going to go over this piece anyway and pick them, pick the bigger ones. Let the little ones have a go at coming through. There is a sunflower in here somewhere. They got a little bit buried. Yeah, there it is. Gonna cut that head off actually, and hang it in the polytunnel to dry out. When we come to taking these down anyway, we'll cut the head and put it in the polytunnel just to dry out, and we'll either use the seeds for next year for sowing, or we'll feed them to the chickens or the ducks, the quail, things like that. So yeah, there we go, guys. We are It does seem a little bit like the end of an era. It really does. You know, we've got still got a lot of the sweet corn growing, the odd tomatoes out here and there. I mean, we're going to have to start picking the sprouts now as well. And I didn't think we'd be doing that until nearly December. But it's just gone absolutely berserk. So I think we're going to thin some of them out, take what we can off, get them in the freezer. At least then we've got something for Christmas. Not as good as coming down and, you know, picking fresh for Christmas Day. But they'll be fresh frozen, so to speak. So sweet corn on this side over here, near the ducks just here, is taking a bit of a battering with the wind. So we're going to find a sheltered spot for that next year. Not a sheltered because it needs the wind to pollinate it. But growing it in a good clump like that is a good way of trying to get the pollination to where you want it, really. We are just going to stick to one type of sweet corn next year. I think this one's called Swift or something. I can never remember the name of it. I think the little ticket's down here somewhere. Here it is. It is Applause, sorry. Applause, an F1 hybrid. That's this one. The one over there is Swift, that's right. So yeah. Yeah, as you can see, some of the sprouts now are starting to get a little bit big. And yo, just doing a video. You alright? Yeah, I'm going to start thinning some of these sprouts out, I think. We're getting absolutely caned by caterpillars at the minute, and it's a bit difficult to try and get out and get the caterpillars off. And this little patch here was a little bit too big to try and cover over with nets. So yeah, this year we tried to do as much as possible, really, and we have done a fair great deal of stuff this year, to be honest. But we've got everything, you know, we've been writing everything down as we've been doing stuff, and bits and bobs. So yeah, all being well, we'll know what to do properly next year. Sprouts will probably be done. We'll probably do just a couple of sprouts, and probably do them in the polytunnel, actually, where we don't get a lot of butterflies going in. But we'll wait and see anyway. We're thinking of making some movable frames to put some netting on, some light fine mesh like this that goes on the polytunnel windows. We're looking at some of this sort of mesh and make a couple of movable things that we can put over things that are getting battered by the caterpillars. That's pretty much it. As with the runner beans here, I've left a lot of the stalks in. The rest of that will probably go in. We'll probably mash that up and put it into the some will probably go in the chickens. We'll give them some, give the ducks some, give the muscovies some, but the rest of it will probably go into the compost, onto the compost heap. Put that nitrogen back into the compost as well. That's what they do. That's what we're leaving the roots in down here for. Basically, puts the nitrogen back into the soil. I know we're not necessarily going to be using the soil next year. It's going to be turned back to. It's going to be under the raised beds, but you know, things will send roots down through the compost that we're going to import, and they'll go into the roots that are down. You know, they'll go into the soil underneath anyway. So it'll be good. You know, we'll get the nitrogen somewhere anyway. So there we go, guys. I think I've rabbited on for long enough. we've got one side of the beans down, starting to gain some of the garden and view back. But no, it's been a good year, to be honest, for things. I've got some stray parsnips coming through. I don't know how they've survived, but they have, and we'll see how they've done. We'll leave them there and dig them up at Christmas. There we go, guys. We'll catch you later. Cheers for now.